Once again, Joe the Shirt is off the cuff. Welcome back, everybody. Oh my God. You hear that? My voice is starting to finally get really better. I was a little raspy the last time I did this, so I took my girlfriend's advice and decided, okay, maybe don't talk for an hour at a time for a little while until I start to sound a little bit better. But thank you for sticking in there with me. I really do hope that you guys listened into my last show concerning the NFL, Richie Incognito, and Jonathan Martin. As I've put on my post, I've written on my post, I don't know if it's really fair to impose a sense of normalcy, normal sense of decency on what is essentially a subculture of competition, violence, and trash talking. That was really what I was thinking about there. I mean, yes, a lot of people would say, and I would be intended to agree with them, that maybe using the word nigger in reference to a fellow teammate is not the way to go. But trash talking, demeaning talk, making fun of someone's mother, threats of physical violence. I mean, that's all pretty much par for the course when you're playing football, or any type of really, really competitive sport. But by the way, just so that you all know, when I say sports, I don't include poker or chess. All right, just so that you all know, poker and chess are games. All right. If I have to watch one more professional poker player make a reference to their sport, I'm gonna fucking throw up. Okay, because I love poker, I really do. And I love to play it. I love to watch it. I love to write about it and talk about it. And even I know it's not a fucking sport. All right, get over yourself. And chess, same deal. It's a thinking man's game. It's quick. It's well thought out. It's competitive. But as far as I'm concerned, anything you can do while eating a sandwich and having a beer is not a sport. Before we get started with today's topic, let's just do... Actually, you know what? I'm going to start up with today's topic really quick here. I judge you and I hate you. Yep, you too. Now, the title for this actually came from my ex-wife. Not in reference to me, mind you, which is the incredible part. My ex-wife is a recovering alcoholic, thus why I don't mention her by name. And I used to go to meetings with her, to be supportive and all that. And one of the things that my ex-wife really, really hated about Alcoholics Anonymous meetings is the same thing that she really loved about Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, which was the other alcoholics. Because my ex-wife kept trying to convince herself that she was not a broken person. Yet here we are, in a room full of anywhere between 8 and 100 people who all have what they term a disease, which essentially says that you're broken. So, on one side, when you see other people like you, it makes you feel as if, it's not as weird or as crazy or as different as, you've been led to believe. But at the same time, it reinforces the fact that it is different from other people. Now, mind you, now, don't get me wrong. There are plenty of addictions out there, right? Alcohol, drugs, food, sex. That last one I think is a myth, personally. Adrenaline rushes. I mean, there's lots of them out there. But, but one day, my ex-wife and I, we were at one of her meetings, and she decided that she was going to share. If you've never been to an AA meeting or never watched TV or a fucking movie, a share is where one of the resident alcoholics gets up and talks about their time and their experiences and what they like to term their relationship with alcohol. Again, I've said this before and I'm saying it again. Anybody that refers to their relationship with alcohol is probably an alcoholic. All right? You're never going to hear me say those words. But in any case, she gets up to share, and she just looks out at about a good 40 or so people in front of her. This is a large meeting here in Hollywood. And she looks out at all of them, pauses, and just says, I judge you and I hate you. It took every ounce of will and energy I had not to bust the fuck out laughing right there and then. Other people did bust out laughing. Other people, but for me, I was keeping it to myself because, okay, maybe I shouldn't. But I was thinking about that. I was thinking about hatred today. I hate lots of people. I mean, I hate loads of people. Some people, when I say hate, I don't mean like hate in the, I hate her. She's always like talking about herself. No, I don't mean that kind of hate. I'm talking about the kind of hatred where if, somebody gets run over by a car and dies, I kind of smile and chuckle a little bit. I have that kind of hatred. And this has been exposed to me more and more recently, especially because, as some of you know, I've been interning, and I've also been working on getting recertified as a bartender for no other reason. Not that I need to be trained as a bartender, recertified, but just so I could get the job leads more than anything else. But both of these situations required that I deal with people that I fucking hate. You've known these people. You've met people like this. Somebody that you meet that upon meeting them, you instantly hate them and they hate you. You might call it dislike. You might call it, ambivalence. But the truth of the matter is, on some level, you really just fucking hate them. And if bad things happen to them, you're kind of glad. I've dealt with two people like this recently, and the only reason I've had to deal with them, honestly, is because I need something from them. I'm done with one. I'm almost done with the other, and I just want to shove pipe bombs up their asses, and I hate them so much, and I wish them death. See, and unlike a lot of people, I'm willing to say that, I hope somebody dies. I really do. I'm good with it. This is like an instantaneous hate, not like the slow brewed hatred that comes over you over the course of a long time. Like say for my stepfather, or maybe your wife or your husband or your son-in-law. You know the people that you truly hate. You don't ever really say it, to anybody. Except maybe one person or to yourself, but you hate them. You fucking do. I hate lots of people. I really do. I probably hate more people than on Facebook. All right? That's how much hatred I have in me. I hate people, especially when I'm in my car. And God, I hope they hate me back. I really do. Because God forbid I hate you and you don't have the good sense to hate me back. Seriously, I fucking hate your guts. Now, a lot of people, a lot of very new age, hippy-dippy type of people will tell you that, will tell me actually, is that why do you waste any time and energy hating somebody? When you can just, be experiencing love. Well, first of all, hippie, I don't waste time and energy hating anybody. My hate is a very easygoing, passive-aggressive kind of hate. You know, I hate you when I remember to hate you. You know, it's like if I see you and I go, oh, yeah, that's right. I hate that fucking cunt. Oh, that's right. I hate that fucking cocksucker. Oh, that's right. You know, that's my type of hatred. You know, it's not like I'm Lex Luthor planning on, you know, how I'm going to kill Superman, all right? It's not like that. See, that, typically speaking, tends to be a waste of time and energy when you're, like, plotting people's demise, because more often than not, you don't actually do it. And, you know, it's stupid. I hate my stepfather, but I hate it in a very, like I said, very passive-aggressive sort of way. I don't call him. I don't talk to him. Whenever I visit my mother, I don't go visit him. You know, they're divorced now, so, and, you know, I don't care. You know, if he died, I'd go to the funeral just so I could piss on his grave. That's about it. But that's about as far as I'm going to go, because for the longest time, my family thought I was like, my hatred for him was so deep that, you know, I would kick his ass once I was, you know, old enough and big enough to take him on. But the man's in his 60s now. There's no pride in kicking a man, you know, somebody that's eligible for Social Security. There's no pride there, none whatsoever. But my question to you is there people that you hate? A lot of people, going back to what I was saying before, actually, when people talk about, you know, wasting your time and energy on hating somebody, I got to tell you, hatred is easy, especially the way I do it. Like I said, it's like I hate you when I remember to do so. When I see you on the street, I remember, yes, I hate you. Love is fucking hard work, all right? You know why love is not easy. You know, people think of, oh, you're much better spending your time on love. Love will kick your ass. And I don't even mean talking about being in love with somebody. I just mean just loving somebody. It's a lot of work, because love requires patience and forgiveness and understanding, and then more patience and more forgiveness and more understanding, and dealing with this person and acceptance, and them doing the same for you, which is really difficult to do, I got to tell you. Or hatred, you just hate somebody and then never ever deal with them ever. You don't have to do anything with hatred. You can just hate them. Just fucking hate the living shit right out of them, and you're good. You don't worry about it. You know, with love is work. Love takes a lot, and God forbid you're actually in love with somebody. I mean, that just adds a whole new layer of caca to the situation. You know, my girlfriend loves me. At least she says so. That's what she claims. I believe her. But I know that loving me is not easy to do. You know, it's not. You know, once you get past, you know, what they call the honeymoon phase, the infatuation phase, the hardcore sex phase, and you get into the whole, we love each other, this is a relationship, and we don't fuck as much as we used to. That's where you find out where the love really is, okay? You know, and she's got to put up with me. And if you, in case you haven't been listening to the show before or don't know me at all, putting up with me is not fucking easy, all right? You know, I mean, and dealing with her isn't always a walk in the park either. But you know what? I love her, and we accept each other, and we enjoy each other's company, you know? And we do things together that other people might just think is silly, you know? We enjoy cooking together. We enjoy farting a lot and making crude commentary on them. We enjoy going to the movies during the day and matinee so we can avoid the kids. We do. We absolutely do. You know, and like I said, there's a lot of great stuff that comes out of love, but it's a lot of work, because there's some days, you know, she and I will get together and we'll start talking about something, and one of us will inevitably go, "You already told me that. I already knew that. Can you stop talking?" Love is a lot of work, man. And we're going to talk a little bit more about love and hate when we get back. Today's music is brought to you by Cry Out. And you heard their first song, Funky Rasta. That's like the worst Jamaican accent ever. And here's their next song by Cry Out, Desire. I'm Joe the Shirt. I'm Off the Cuff, and I'll be right back. That's right, baby. Joe the Shirts, Off the Cuff. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Now, before I continue with today's topic, I wanted to do a quick overview of something I talked about at the end of our last show regarding, should you let Jesus be your CEO? Should God be president of operations? What I was talking about was whether or not corporations, which are considered in a lot of ways private individuals, persons, do they have the right as a person to impose their personal beliefs on, say, their employees? Here's one for you. The claim is that corporations can have a religious conscience. More to the point, that they can impose their own religious beliefs on their employees. This is from the LA Times, from Michael Hiltzik. The issue is raised by three corporations which challenged Obamacare, specifically the requirement that employers' health plans cover a wide range of contraceptives. Now, the company's owners maintain that the rule infringes on their enterprise's free expression of religion. Lower courts have split on whether a federal law forbidding the government to substantially burden a person's exercise of religion applies to corporations. If it does, the road is wide open for employers to allow their religious beliefs to govern how they do business. Two appellate courts have ruled that for-profit corporations don't have religious rights, and a third says that they might. Okay, well, as you probably already know, I am completely against this concept. Because we, here in this country, good old US of A, we made it a point to have a separation of church and state. Not really. Not really. I'll tell you that right now. But we try, but it's hard to believe that we made a separation of church and state when it says in God we trust on our money. So a little bit of hypocrisy there. But I think that if you open the door, even a crack, and say that corporations can have a religious conscience, that they can have religious beliefs, then you open the door for them to discriminate against others that are not of their religious beliefs. Because generally speaking, it is, actually very specifically speaking, it is against the law to deny somebody a job based on their religious beliefs. Just because, you run Moishe's old Jewish deli, and a perfectly qualified Muslim walks into your establishment and says, "Hey, I am a professional butcher, deli man, baker. I know everything there is to know about Jewish delis. I have a master's in Jewish delis. I've written many theses on Jewish delis. Nobody knows more about Jewish delis than I do. As a matter of fact, the country of Israel appointed me, world's greatest deli man. It would be illegal in this country for that deli to say, no, we're not going to hire you because you're not Jewish. Okay? Now, mind you, obviously, they may not say it, but they'd probably do it anyway. By the way, that's not a slam against the Jews. I'm just using that as an example. But, that's what we're talking about here. Matter of fact, among these companies, actually, let me bring this up here, real quick here. Says here that the implications of granting corporations the right to free expression of religion are horrific. The precedent, writes David H. Gans of the Constitutional Accountability Center in article titled Can Corporations Pray, says that it would allow a company to fire workers for engaging in all manners of activities that do not conform to the religious code of the company's owners, including using contraception, becoming pregnant out of wedlock, or marrying a person of the same sex. There are, I think, three companies right now. The Protestant Greens of Oklahoma, owners of Hobby Lobby retail chain, and the Hans of Pennsylvania, Mennonite owners of a cabinet firm named Conestoga Wood, and the Roman Catholic Kennedys of Michigan, owners of the industrial manufacturing concern Autocam. They say that their businesses are extensions of their religious lives, and therefore forcing them to pay for contraceptive coverage for their workers violates the company's free exercise of religion. And I'm telling you that companies do not have a free exercise of religion. I say that a company is exactly that, a company. It is a business entity. A company cannot pray. A company cannot get on its fucking knees. A company can't vote. But a Muslim can, a Jew can, a Jehovah's Witness can, a Hindu can, or is it Hindi? I always get that wrong. But you get the idea. A Buddhist can vote. A company, a corporation, can't go to the ballots, can't go to the voting booth and cast their ballot for who they want to be president. Now, the person that runs that company, he can go. But I don't think the company should be able to. And by that extension, I don't think that a company should be able to tell its employees what is religiously acceptable or not. I'm sorry, it doesn't work in this country. It doesn't work in business. And I would hate to see this kind of thing go anywhere beyond this. I think that if you own a company, you own a corporation, you're part of a corporation, whatever, you can have your own personal religious beliefs. I brought up the example of Chick-fil-A in my last show, and last year when we had all that going on with gay protesters. They were all pissed off because Chick-fil-A's owners donated money to what they considered to be anti-gay charities. In my opinion, I thought, they had full rights to do so. You want to donate to the Anti-Gay League? Go ahead. You want to donate to the Anti-Jew League? Go ahead. As long as you're doing it as an individual, as long as you're doing it, as long as you're not letting it affect your hiring practices and your service practices. If Chick-fil-A had said, well, we don't hire fags and we don't serve fags food, well, then, yeah, that's wrong. But all they did was donate money. I didn't see the problem there. I thought that was a personal choice. Their business model continued to work with the homosexual community, whether it was hiring or servicing. But I think that once you give corporations the option of saying, well, we think this is morally wrong or right based on our religious beliefs, then you're opening the door for so many other things. Because based on that, like I said, you could not hire or fire somebody because you find out that they're gay, you find out that they're Jewish, you find out that they're pro-abortion. You find out that when they have sex, they use condoms. I don't know exactly how you would find that out. You find out that, that guy, his favorite football team isn't the Saints. So That's what I'm saying. I think when it comes to that, no, corporations have no rights when it comes to religion. A corporation doesn't go to mass. A corporation doesn't go to synagogue. A corporation doesn't face Mecca and pray. All right? A corporation runs a business and hires people to help them run that business. Anyway, let's do some birthdays now. Lighten the mood up a little bit. If your birthday was yesterday, November 13th, you share a birthday with Whoopi Goldberg, who turned 58. Actor Gerard Butler turned 44. Steve Zahn turned 46. You may remember him from the movie Reality Bites. NBA player Metta World Peace is 34 years old. Joe Mantegna is 66. Chris Noth is 59. Gary Marshall is 79. And Jimmy Kimmel is 46. And we're going to talk about Jimmy Kimmel in just a little bit, actually. But right now, I want to interject right here really quick. Two things, actually. Chris Noth turns 59. A long time ago, I thought that when Chris Noth was in his younger days, he would have played a great Batman. Now we have the new Batman movie coming up, where the Batman is supposed to be in his 50s or so. The Dark Knight, right now I think Chris Noth would have made a great Batman. Nothing against Ben Affleck. I think he'll do a fine job now that he's on the older side. I just think that Chris Noth might have been just a little bit better. Also, I don't usually do celebrity birthdays of dead celebrities, but for this one, I'm going to make the exception. Robert Louis Stevenson. It's his birthday today. He is the author of one of my favorite stories of all time, The Curious Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Okay, and if your birthday is today, November 14th, you share a birthday with Josh Duhamel, who's 41 years old. Let's see. Condoleezza Rice is 59. Joseph Simmons is 49. You may remember him as Rev from Run DMC. Patrick Warburton is 49. He does a zillion celebrity voices, and he played Putty on Seinfeld. Laura San Giacomo from Pretty Woman is 51 years old. Kurt Schilling is 47, MLB's pitcher who has over 3,100 career strikeouts. And David Moscow is 39. You're thinking to yourself, well, who the fuck is that? Well, he played the young version of Tom Hanks in the movie Big. Going back to hatred. Quickie for you guys. This is also the birthday of the one and only Prince Charles of England. Or is it Britain? Who gives a shit anyway? Of the British Isles. He is 65 years old. Officially in this country, a senior citizen. I don't know how they do it in England, but he's 65 years old. Next in line for the throne. You think he hates his mother? I mean, seriously. The guy's 65, yet the queen keeps going on and on. I mean, she is tougher than the Energizer Bunny. I mean, swear to God, she just is going and going and going and going. I mean, it could be one of those rare cases where the son actually dies before his mother. I mean, he's 65. It's been known to happen. So it makes you really wonder if he's just like going, you know what? And I bet you the British are ready for her to die as well. Now, most British people I know could give a shit less about the royal family. There are some people out there that are still diehard, British royal fans. They love them, can't get enough of them. It's like, oh, so-and-so's pregnant, so-and-so had a baby, so-and-so dressed up as a Nazi for Halloween. That's not right. I think that most British people would love to see a king on the throne in their lifetime. Because then that would probably ensure that there would be another king on the throne sometime after that. You get King Charles, then King Harry, and, well, you get the idea. In any case, it is time for a break. And more music by by Cry Out. This is their song, Desire. Oh, wait, did I do that already? Yes, I did. This is So Just Say. Okay. What do I know? I'm just Joe the Shirt, and I'm off the cuff.
No roster go out there instead. Oh no. No roster go out till music.
And as usual, Joe the Shirt's off the cuff. And that song's intro is way too fucking long. Before I continue with my Jimmy Kimmel story, which I really do want to do, there are dogs in the news. Okay, let's go through them really quickly here. A woman is accused of child endangerment after an incident in Santa Monica. A professional dog walker, which I used to be one, in Santa Monica was charged with child endangerment after a 4-year-old girl was bitten on the leg by her Staffordshire Terrier, also known to a lot of people as pit bulls. Rebecca McGroarty, 26, was with the dog inside a home in the 2300 block of 23rd Street when the girl, who did not reside there, was attacked on October 19th, according to the Santa Monica Police Department. Police said the dog's owner had given McGroarty instructions to always have the animal muzzled and on a leash when outside the house, and she had been told not to let anyone in the house. Quote, the dog was not muzzled and off-leash at the time of the attack, said Sergeant J. Moroso. In addition, McGroarty's employer gave her instructions that she was not to have anyone other than employees or residents entering the house. According to this, according to the owner of the dog was afraid of and aggressive towards small children. My dog has been known to do this as well, thus why I always muzzle my dog going in and out of the building and keep away from children because they freak them out. The 10-year-old dog was impounded by Santa Monica animal control officers and quarantined for 10 days. A lot of these attacks going on here in California. Like, for instance, in September, a 2-year-old boy in Colton was mauled to death by several pit bull mixes. And in May, a 63-year-old woman in the Antelope Valley was killed by a pack of pit bulls. What's the deal with these packs of pit bulls just roaming around everywhere? In response to this, last month, supervisors in Riverside County voted for an ordinance requiring pit bulls to be spayed or neutered in incorporated neighborhoods. Once again, pit bulls getting a bad rap, and I understand why. I really do. Actually, I can't say that on the air. I'm not allowed to, but. I'll let you know if you write me on at joetheshirt@yahoo.com. That's my email. You can write me there. I'll tell you what I have to say about that. And other news regarding dogs. From now on, here in Britain, actually. Well, here's the entire article. It's short and sweet. They work hard, sniffing out crime with only the occasional pat on the nose and gratitude. But police dogs deserve better, according to the Police and Crime Commissioner in the English county of Nottinghamshire. Nottinghamshire, okay. Petty Tipping says the idea for canine pension fund came about because the officers were picking up the cost for retired police dogs. In Britain, much like here in the United States, handlers normally take dogs home upon retirement. Tipping says, however, that he doesn't think that it's fair that they have to pay for all the bills. So beginning next month in England, Nottinghamshire, Handlers will get up to $800 annually for 3 years to cover vet bills for work-related injuries or illnesses. So there you go. Very good. Nothing like an animal getting a retirement fund, and not you. And finally, this is an old story, but I held on to it because I wanted to. A 32-year-old woman in Humboldt County was swept out to sea Sunday while walking on a Northern California beach with her friend and her dog. The woman was overtaken by a rogue wave near Shelter Cove, according to the U.S. Coast Guard. The woman's friend called the Coast Guard, which dispatched a helicopter that found the victim's body within minutes. Now, 4 other people have been washed out to sea by the so-called sleeper waves in the area, especially hazardous in winter. In each case, the people drowned while trying to rescue their dogs. In November, 3 family members drowned to rough surf while trying to save their dog at the beach. On New Year's Day, a man and his wife walking their dog near Point Reyes in Marin County were hit by a wave. The man was swept away as they attempted to rescue the animal. And what am I saying here? You know what? I love animals. I love dogs. I love my dog. I hope he loves me. Can't know for sure. But people, if your dog gets caught in a wave, washed out to sea, go get help. Don't jump in. Because the dog can swim. The dog knows the dog paddle. If that's not enough for him, what the fuck do you think you're going to do? Let the dog go. I know it sounds selfish, but there you go. Now, all right, speaking of hatred, let's talk a little bit about Larry Flynt real quick before I move on to Jimmy Kimmel. Apparently, the publisher of Hustler magazine wants Joseph Paul Franklin to not be executed. Now, if you're wondering who Joseph Paul Franklin is, well, he does a lot. He's the guy that shot Larry Flynt because he's a racist, member of Ku Klux Klan and the Nazi Party here in America. He was offended by a pictorial in Hustler magazine way back when, and I think it was like the 70s. Where Larry Flynt's magazine depicted an interracial couple having sex. Now, don't get me wrong here, all right? Larry Flynt doesn't want this guy executed. It is not for humanitarian reasons, okay? This is a quote from Larry Flynt. In all the years since the shooting, I have never come face to face with Franklin. I would love an hour in a room with him and a pair of wire cutters and pliers so I can inflict the same damage on him that he inflicted on me. But I do not want to kill him, nor do I want to see him die. He would rather that he spend the rest of his life in prison, which is something I can appreciate. This is hatred, okay? This is pure, unadulterated hatred because he doesn't want this guy to die. He wants him to live and suffer, just like he lives and suffers in his solid gold wheelchair. Yeah, okay, he's a millionaire, maybe a billionaire. He's rich, he's famous. He's got a solid gold wheelchair, but I bet you he'd give up that solid gold wheelchair for a pair of legs and a dick that worked. So, you know, I gotta give it to Larry. You know, he knows how to take hatred to a whole new level. And now let's talk about hatred a little bit more and the Chinese, along with Jimmy Kimmel. This is the actual Jimmy Kimmel story that I've been talking to you about. This falls under people that I hate who just get pissed about all the dumbest shit on the planet. Recent show on October 16th on Jimmy Kimmel Live, ABC aired a segment on the show titled Kids Table, in which Kimmel asked a group of children what the U.S. should do about the $1.3 trillion it owes to China. One child offered the idea to, quote, kill everyone in China. To which Kimmel responded, you know, quote again, kill everyone in China. Okay, that's an interesting idea. Should we allow the Chinese to live? He seemingly scoffed at the child's suggestion, but later asked the group, should we allow the Chinese to live? Apparently, this pissed off a bunch of Chinese, Asians, whatever. which made them so pissed off that a petition calling for the Obama administration to investigate the show came up with over 104,000 signatures as of Tuesday evening. Protests were being reported and held in several cities, including the ABC headquarters in Burbank and the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood, where the show is taped. ABC and Kimmel have since issued an apology. Quote, "The simple fact is the segment should never have been broadcast." End quote. That's from an ABC statement. Quote, "Systems we have in place for these types of things did not function properly, and steps have been made to try and prevent this kind of egregious mistake from occurring in the future." End quote. Let's see. One Tom Hayashi, executive director of the OCA, Asian Pacific Administration, advocates which has a chapter in Los Angeles, said it's understandable that Asian Pacific Islanders, API, are still upset. According to him, here's a quote from him, "I can't necessarily say the same thing about ABC executives. In recent conversations, I'm not really sure they get it." How about this? Fuck you, Tom. You know what? It was a joke. It was a silly, ridiculous joke. At no point, okay, they're making a big deal because allegedly it was being brought up, the idea of the genocide of the entire Chinese population as a solution to not having to pay them back the money that we owe them. Obviously, that's not what we're planning on yet. But it's a joke. It's Jimmy Kimmel Live. You're not watching Dan Rather or Tom Brokaw or Katie Couric. You're watching Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, seriously, if you're watching Jimmy Kimmel and you take anything that Jimmy Kimmel says seriously, why don't you just take anything I say seriously? You know what? Take what a monkey says seriously. Take what my dog says seriously, okay? It obviously wasn't serious. It was a joke. It was an aside, even. It wasn't even that good of a fucking joke, honestly. Once again, we're getting to the point where, excuse me, we're over-censoring yet again. Let it go. It's not that big a fucking deal. At no point did anybody with a rational, reasonable, logical mind honestly think that Jimmy Kimmel and ABC were endorsing the complete and utter genocide of the Chinese people, be it in China or abroad, in order to not pay them the money that we owe them. Fuck you, mamby-pamby little bitches. Go Dolphins. I'm sorry, that's stupid. It really is. I'm sorry, we live in this culture where we're constantly getting upset by everything and then apologizing for everything. You're not allowed to make a joke anymore. You're not allowed to think that something is funny. I think about pretty much 99.99% of everything on the planet is funny, especially the tragedies. Like I've said before, if you don't laugh at the tragedies, all you're going to do is fucking cry all the time. I'm not suggesting that, you just ignore these tragedies, but are they really tragedies? Some kid makes a joke on TV and Kimmel follows up with a little aside joke. That's not a tragedy. Okay? I haven't heard anything from China yet. Has China said anything? Are they worried? No, they're not worried. They know that we owe them $1.3 trillion. They're not worried at all. It's like, hey, say whatever the fuck you want about us. You owe us. Go nuts. Have a good time. I don't know. Once again, we're just getting way, way too sensitive. Be it bullying or cheap jokes. Honestly, how long is it before the Chinese come after me? Really? I make plenty of jokes all the time. I make plenty of comments and asides all the time. Am I supposed to worry about them? No, I'm not worried about them because I don't have sponsors. Nobody pays me to do this. I'm doing this for free. But even if I did have sponsors, even if I did have people that pay me to do this and advertise their products, I would like to think that they know who I am and would hire me knowing that. That not expecting me to change to be sensitive to their issues. You came to me. I didn't come to you. That's how I see Jimmy over here. You know what, Jimmy? Fuck them. Fuck China. In any case, you see that? It's a very passive-aggressive kind of hate. No biggie. And okay, that's it for me. Thank you for listening. Here's one more song from Cry Out. It's called No Man. And I'm Joe the Shirt, and I've been off the cuff.